everyone. I hope everyone are excited to learn more about semantics, right? Let's continue with topic. In our previous video, we discussed about semantics is a study of meaning, and we also discussed about meaning, the sense and reference. But we discussed only about reference. Before going to the sense, let's know the difference between reference and sense. Okay? Here, when a word refers to an object which can be seen, such as elephant or book, table, etc. So for this, its meaning is realized. Its meaning is realized in terms of reference. Okay, meaning is realized in terms of reference. Okay, which means, for example, the word elephant. The word elephant brings to our mind the image of a huge animal. Okay, huge animal that exists in nature, which means here the word elephant is referent and in concept conveyed by this word is reference. Which means, if someone talk about an elephant, we will imagine in our mind that okay, we have seen the animal elephant. So they are talking about the animal elephant. Okay, that huge animal elephant. Okay, so we can imagine in our mind, means we can create ourselves. As we are seeing, we are observing directly, we can imagine in our mind what is happening. So with what? With the object which we have seen. Okay, so for that, those are reference. Okay, for we are referring to a specific object. Okay, in sense. Okay, here what is a sense? Sense is primarily related to those words which do not refer to any object. Do not refer to any object of nature that can be visualized. Which means the sense is primarily related to those words which do not refer to any object of nature that can be visualized, we can visualize in reference. Okay, the words like love, hated, intelligence, etc. Okay, these words do not refer to any object. The meaning of such words are expressed with the help of words conveying the same meaning, which means synonyms, or opposite meanings, antonym. Okay, here sense represents the relationship between the sense represents the relation between inside the language as opposed to reference. Okay, sense represents the relationship inside the language. What represents? Relationship inside the language as opposed to reference. Okay, here it represents the relationship. Sense, again, sense of an expression is an abstraction. Okay, every expression that has meaning has sense but not necessarily reference. Let's take an example. bought clothes from that shop. Here, I bought or purchased have the same sense. Okay, bought and purchased the same sense. Here, a word can have more than one sense. Okay, a word can have more than one sense, as you observe here. But let's get into the meaning of the word bank. Here, bank can be river bank and financial bank. Okay, in our previous example, I bought clothes from that shop. There, bought and purchased has the same meaning, but here the same word bank has different sense. Okay, here the sense has changed according to the context. River bank or financial bank. A word can have more than one sense. Okay, more than one sense. But in the word I bought and purchased have the same sense. But here in the word bank, river bank, financial bank has different sense. Okay. Next, sense of an expression. Sense of an expression can be taught as the sum of its as the sum of its sense properties. And sense relations with other expressions. Okay, sense relations with other expressions. Sense of an expression can be thought as the sum of its sense properties. Okay, sense properties. Sense properties are three in number. They are the property of being analytic, the property of being synthetic, and the property of being contradictory. Okay, the first one is analytic sentence. The first property is analytic. So here analytic sentence. Analytic sentences are necessarily true as a result of the sense of words in it. Sense of words in it. Here, have to remember that analytic sentences are not informative. Example, the sun rises in the east. There are 7 days in a week. There are 7 days in a week. Here, analytic sentences are necessarily true. It will be true. Necessarily true as a result of the sense of words in it. The sun rises in the east. There are 7 days in a week. Okay, means here it will never change. Okay, these are the facts, universal truth. So, definitely these sentences will be true. Next is synthetic sentence. Synthetic sentence. Here, synthetic sentences can either be true or false, depending on the way world is, the way the world thinks. Such sentences are potentially informative and real world. Real world situations. So again I'm repeating. Synthetic sentence. Synthetic sentences can either be true or false, depending on the way the world is. Such sentences are potentially informative in real world situations. Here is the absence of semantic relationship between the senses of words in a sentence that accounts for the synthetic property. Example: John's sister is in Kerala. It may be true or it may be false. So here it is the absence of semantic relationship. Absence of semantic relationship between the senses of words in a sentence that accounts for the synthetic property, which means we cannot definitely say that the sentence was true, 100% true. It may be true, but in some sense it may be false. So we cannot declare that either the sentence is true or false. That's the reason here we said that absence of semantic relationship between the senses of words in a sentence that accounts for the synthetic property. Okay. Next, contradiction. Contradiction is a sentence that is necessarily false as a result of the sense of the words in it. Example: the earth is flat. Next, elephants do not have tail. Okay, here these sentences are definitely false. Okay, contradiction is a sentence that is necessarily false as a result of the sense of the words in it. Okay, as a sense of the words in it, according to the words in a sentence, according to the sense of the words in the sentence, we can say that the sentence is false. Okay, we can declare that these sentences were false. So till now we discussed about semantics, sense, difference between the sense and reference, and sense properties. In the next video I'll discuss about sense relations. So my next video. Bye bye. Take care.